So you could see that they were having difficulty blocking out.
6 technical fouls called in that game on Sunday. Just in the first quarter. 9 total. Mike Mathis blows our first foul of the ball game.
Getting back to the technicals, Ron, when you look at individuals and you see 9 technicals, 4 against Indiana, 5 against the Knicks, you knew that this was expected. This is a very physical series.
Now Patrick is playing behind Rick Smith, who's trying to get away from him. Starks jams the ball out front. Jackson, baseline, the reverse finds the net.
Oh, that was a beautiful move by Mark. They didn't expect him to take it all away.
Mark Jackson, who holds the New York single-season assist record when he played for the Knicks. In fact, he was Rookie of the Year when he played for New York back in '88.
I'll tell you, Pat played 9 years in this league, and he almost got a 3-point shot out there. Oakley almost hit Pat in the chest.
Pat Riley, originally a pick by the San Diego Rockets. Smits with the baseline hook. Smith the rebound. We played about 1:15. Starks unmolested.
You must contain him in the open floor. He's one of the reckless drivers that we have in this league. He will macho-wise take it right to the front of the rim.
And McKee is a little rattled. The second Pacer turnover already in the early going. Starks with 21 points in game 1. Was 3 of 9 from the stripe.
Now we have 2 of the top 4 defensive teams in this league in field goal percentage against as well as points against.
The Knicks number 2 in points against.
Well, it's nice to see Patrick, reach out and extend on that jump shot.
4-2. Knicks on top. We've played 2 minutes here in the first quarter. McKee, no place to go. Smith all over him, and that is going to be a 3-second in the lane call.
Now, Ron, when you front the low post people, if they jam you on the outside, you drive the ball to the foul line area, then you can make the pass. If they continue to front, the lob is always there.
Pat Riley saying his team always responds to adversity because they've been in so many adverse situations this year. Ewing over Smith with his 4th point of the ball game.
Well, the Garden loves it because they know that the big fella looks smooth right now.
Miller being hounded by Starks. They run that staggered screen. Miller out front. Smith fouled by Ewing.
They must do this. They must go to Smits every time he's open. I was surprised Reggie did not give it to him earlier because you do not want the Knicks to have the advantage of double teaming Smith. Allow him to take Ewing and get the early fouls.
Now the Knicks say they double teamed Smith 6 times during the game. Larry Brown says it must have been 25 times. Here's the double by Oakley. Knocked away.
He never looked. He never looked for the double teamer that time. He put the ball right down on the floor.
Harper. Oakley can't get it. Indiana, this is their 7th possession. They've already turned the ball over 4 times. Jackson, 1-on-2, and he buries it.
He loves it in this place. Let's face it, 4 years at St. John's. They played all their home games here, the big games, plus the Big East tournament, and then Rookie of the Year in his first year, and an All-Star in his second year playing right here for the New York Knicks.
Starks, tipped by Jackson, 10 to shoot. Smith backs up with a 17. Here comes Jackson again.
When you play the Knicks, you must try to push and get the transition. You do not want to have to continue to set up.
Wonderful save by Oakley, and then Jackson commits the foul.
Tough call. That's a tough call. And you hate to see that in the backcourt because he wasn't going anywhere. And you're going to see this right here. There it is, right off of the leg of McKee, and as soon as that ball went out, Jackson jams Harper, and they give him the hand check.
5 Indiana turnovers in 3.5 minutes. Ewing way out, Jackson on him. Ewing just hooks him, takes it to the hole. Indiana has lost 13 of the last 15 regular season meetings between these 2 teams.
There you go. Look for that double team first.
And McKee drains the three. That is only his second in the playoffs.
He's the guy that must step up here because he's a potential scorer.
Larry Brown says we have to stop the penetration by the Knicks guards. They did not do it there.
After a score, the Knicks get the ball to Harper, and he pushes the ball quickly. Jackson cannot hesitate. He's got to get to him.
Smith on top to Jackson. Jackson wheeling. He walked it. No, we have a foul. Count the basket.
Nice move. Mark Jackson is very, very dangerous when he's on his game. He is a real finisher in the painted area. Now just watch this spin move right now. You see he's feeling it. He's 3 for 3 from the floor. He's got all of the short shots. Now he's coming off of a so-so type of a season. But they need him in this series to also defend. Never mind the scoring. See, well, there it is right here.
There it is, and Harper can't get it to drop. Oakley returns it.
You can't emphasize it enough. Harper pushes the ball from circle to circle and then just doesn't level off. He takes it all the way.
Up top to Miller. Has not scored yet in the ball game.
Well, the Knicks trap every screen and roll.
McKee, Smith comes out to meet him. 7 to shoot. McKee with the left hand. Won't go. Smith's had it. Here comes Harper. 3 on 2. Smith. Oh, pretty.
League with his back to the basket because he has many moves and he has a beautiful hook shot that it's tough to get to.
Our 6th lead change. We've just been through the halfway point of the first quarter. Starks in the paint, and it won't go, but we have a foul.
One thing about Starks, he's fearless. Now, he'll take it right into your face. Now, he'll force shots. There's no doubt about that because you back that up with his shooting percentage for the season. He only shot 39%. He'll take it in there and go right at you. Now, we know the other facet of his game is during the course of the year, he attempted more threes than any player in the league at 6'11". That's almost 8 threes per game.
Well, Rick Smith picks up his first personal foul, and quickly Larry Brown goes to his bench, not taking any chances of Smith picking up 2 and a quick 3. And Antonio Davis, number 33, is checked into the lineup. Second-year pro at UTEP, and spent 3 years overseas before joining the Pacers. Here's Larry Brown, a native of Brooklyn. Starks with 4 in the ball game. The Knicks have a 1-point advantage.
Now in the early going, let's think about it. We've played 6.5 minutes, and Reggie Miller does not have a shot.
He's the only starter that has not taken a shot for Pacers. The fans begin the boo. Starks bellying up to him. A little up and under by Reggie. Can't get it.
Reggie kept that alive.
And Davis knocks it home.
Antonio Davis at 6'9" and 240. He's a horse inside.
Only 10 minutes in game 1 and only contributed 1 point. There's the double, but Patrick turns away from it and buries the jumper.
Well, there's no way that Antonio Davis can even affect Patrick Ewing. He can shoot over the top of him at will. The main thing for Antonio is to keep Patrick from getting to his key spots.
A whistle, and it goes back to New York. An offensive foul.
Now, they gave it, that was on a screen, Ron, on the opposite side of the floor. They were setting a double screen down in there. And Larry Brown all upset. Keep an eye right here. Now here comes Reggie coming off. See, and that was a good call. That was a moving screen by Antonio Davis.
3rd straight year these two teams have met in the playoffs. Ball belongs to Indiana. Last year in the Eastern Finals, the Knicks won it 4-3. And then in the first round, the year before that, the Knicks won it 3-1.
Well, they play similar styles. They're both excellent defensively. They'll take the fast break if it's there. They're both very good three-point shot attempt teams, and they're good on the offensive glass.
Good ball movement. McKee can't get it to go. Smith the rebound, the outlet to Harper. Indiana very efficient on offense. They're taking the 2nd fewest shots in the NBA this year. Harper for 3. Rolls it around and down. Harper now 12 of 19 in the playoffs, over 60%. That is hot.
Well, he's been hot the last month of the season and in the playoffs, Ron, and it shouldn't be to anyone's surprise. He's a 36% shooter in the threes. Now that was a good call down on the baseline. Reggie Miller faked one way. Now they love to go at him posting up Derek McKee, so that's a big-time loss.
Derek Harper appears hurt too, grabbing the left thigh.
Well, there was a collision on that screen and roll. And the one thing that you hate as a guard, when a big man knees you, let's keep a look on the knee of Smith. Let's see if Smith's catch him with a knee. Ooh. Yeah, there it is right there. See if he catches you in your knee or in the thigh area. Now just watch this. Now they call this on Harper. Naturally, the building just went crazy. Harper is gingerly coming over right in front of us right now. Now he's smarting.
Well, they called it now on Patrick Ewing, so that is his second personal foul. And Smith's 3 for 3 from the line as Herb Williams comes in. And Patrick, who was in foul trouble in Game 1, 3 fouls in the first half in Game 1, has to sit down again.
Now that's amazing, because Harper is the one who definitely ran into Smith's.
Hubert Davis also into the lineup. Smith's the 7th-year pro out of Marist. But they get the second chance point. Davis, the big move. He skied for that one.
No, he's a tough guy down inside. He's basically a defender and a rebounder and a shot blocker. Now, right now, it's the first time that Indiana has put on a little trap in the backcourt, get them out of their set offense and let them run some time. So you can see the Knicks are scrambling right now.
And McKee with a touch foul on Anthony Mason.
Post Reggie up here now on Hubert Davis. No double team.
Davis stays with him. 5 to shoot. McKee, the leader, rejected by Herb Williams.
One of the best.
Back to McKee, fires it off the glass.
Now that was a smart play by McKee. That's right. That shot clock was down, and if he would have dribbled the ball, they would have called a 24-second. Excellent play by McKee. That's a terrific block by Herb Williams, one of the premier shot blockers that we've had in the NBA over the last 15 years.
Williams just set a pick on Mark Jackson, about took Jackson's head off. Harper from the arc again, and he buries it.
But you can't look at him. Can't look at him, Ron, like you brought out earlier. He's on fire on threes.
8 points, 3 assists already for Derek Harper.
Bringing Reggie on a curl.
That's Reggie's favorite play. Doesn't get it to go. Tipped up and around. Davis brings it out of the pack. McKee from the baseline over Mason. Harper pushes. Davis around Miller to the hole with the left hand. Oakley had it, lost it. Pacers have the ball, trailing by 2.
In this first quarter, I think both coaches are getting what they want at the offensive end. They're getting some very good looks at the basket, Ron.
Jackson goes baseline on Davis. The save. Here comes Williams. Still has the handle. It isn't pretty, but it'll count. Davis for 3. Hubert Davis has been struggling from the arc, only 29% in the playoffs from the line, but he hits his first this evening, and the Knicks on a 7-0 run.
But, you know, you look at Hubert's game over the season, a 46% three-point shooter.
Illegal defense is going to be called on the Knicks.
Yeah, on Charles Oakley. Oakley came over on the double team, but did not complete the trap. Once you make a commitment, you must continue all the way and get the trap.
Now with 4.3 seconds left, Larry Brown going to his bench as Haywood Workman comes in, and also Sam Mitchell. Workman, number 3, the 4th-year pro of Oral Roberts, and Miller misses the technical.
Now the fans are loving this. Okay, they're just absolutely loving it. On the back of all of the newspapers, on the call-in show, on television, Reggie Miller is the most popular name that we have in New York City since Sunday.
I tell you, and he had a great line. He says, "I can't go out for a walk in New York. I think there's a hit on me here." Well, Byron Scott also comes into the lineup at 4.3. Pacers trailing by 5.
We all know that reputations are made at playoff time.
Scott over the outstretched hands of Williams. Nothing but air, and that's the way the first quarter will come to an end. Reggie 0 for 4 in that for the steal.
Another bad turnover.
8 turnover of the ball game for the Pacers. Davis, they give him some room, and he makes Hayward Workman pay.
You can't do that. You know that he's coming in looking for the three.
Of UNLV. Working around to Smith, who's checked back in, and he hits it.
They love going to him. He averaged 13 points for them this year and shoots 49%. Now see him.
Mason hooks Davis and gets the two. Mason, a nice job with them. New York's last 10 points have come from the free throw line, except that with Derek Harper's third three of the ball game. The lead is 2. The shot clock has been turned on.
Now they're running a screen down on either side of the lane.
Miller, the trigger. Doesn't get.
We have so many fouls, we've stopped counting.
Oh, Ewing with 2.
So Patrick said,
Ewing.
now that was a bullet pass from Oakley, right on the money. Over, Smith can shoot over the top.
Starks gets a step on the defense to the hole. John Starks.
Now that was reckless abandon, and look at that defensive play. What a great play by Starks.
And he said the last one to touch it was Indiana. Bernie Fryer didn't buy the argument, but that is excellent hustle by Starks, who can provide a little spark of enthusiasm in this ball club.
Well, he knows that Reggie lit him up there the other day. You know, he gets 31. But Starks is right on you. Reggie's having trouble getting loose today.
9 to shoot. Jackson. Harper pokes on him with 4 on the shot clock.
Nice pass.
Smith's last hit by Smith. And that'll be a 24-second violation. 17th Indiana turnover, but great defense by the Knicks. Starks is in Reggie Miller's back pocket. Knicks by 3.
Two-man game, Harper and Ewing.
Everybody else on the perimeter. Now Smith drops inside the paint.
Nice pass.
Nice ball movement. Oakley left open. That is a 2, and he hits it.
He knocks those down. Very unselfish play by the Knicks.
New York on a 9-2 run this quarter as Oakley gets his first 2 since the opening quarter, and that gets him standing at Madison Square.
Soft.
Oakley, count it.
You have to be careful now, Ron. You're down 9 right now.
13-2 run, Huey, this quarter. Indiana wants
that was an excellent call. Offensive foul. Reggie Miller pushed Starks right in the chest to try to get open.
And up off the bench, coming in the next dead ball will be Greg Kite.
That's just a little frustration. Oh, look out.
Wide open to the hole.
You must help Mark Jackson on that screen. You cannot allow Harper to turn the corner because Harper will always...
Harper for 3. His 4th of the game.
A dagger.
The run is now up to 18-2. Riley telling his troops to get their hands up on defense. Inside, Davis has it slapped away by Oakley. Indiana with possession, 7 to shoot.
Oh, you can see they definitely lost everything. See, Larry Brown's got to make a big decision here right now. You're down 14. Do you keep Smits on the bench? You know, with the 4, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to save them. But the offense is falling apart, Ron.
They had a 4-on-2 and couldn't complete it.
Now this is Harper with the shot clock down, knocking in his 4th 3, and then Harper says something to someone on their bench.
Well, the Indiana players telling us before the game that Derek Harper was not very quiet in game 1. Talked the entire game as Hayward Workman back in the lineup. He has the basketball. Antonio Davis also back in. Reggie Miller very quiet this evening. Another turnover on a traveling call.
They're just frustrated right now. You can't score in a game if you cannot make your foul shots and you continue to turn the ball over. You have 22 turnovers, and we still have a quarter and a half to go.
Now Reggie Miller is going to take a seat, having not scored in the third. Oakley the ball away. Ball belongs to Indiana as Byron Scott is coming to the lineup for the Pacers. There you see the third quarter problems for Indiana.
Well, they're one of the better teams in the league in taking care of the basketball over 82 games. Let's see the Knicks. They have been tenacious defensively this evening.
Starks again.
Great defense by Starks.
To the hole. Count the basket. 12 possessions, 9 turnovers for Indiana, and they still have only scored 2 points in the third quarter. And we have almost played 7 minutes.
Now you can see Patrick Ewing waving to get the crowd in the game.
And Starks is fouled by Byron Scott, who just picked him up and leveled him.
Another turnover, and once again, the tenacity of the defense. Look at this defense by Starks, and then the anticipation, which leads to a 2-on-1, and with the defender not committing, Starks is taking it all away.
The Pacers have self-destructed.
10 turnovers this quarter in 13 possessions.
Ewing is fouled. Excellent game so far tonight, and Harper takes it away.
Bad decision. I mean, the guy was free right up on the other side of him.
No choke tonight so far for John Starks. The lead is 17 by the Knicks. Indiana only 4 points in the third quarter. Mitchell, baseline on Mason, has to give it up. Mason comes out of the pack with the rock. To Harper, to the hole. The lead is 19.
You can do one of two things. Keep Smith on the bench and say, we'll make a run for it in this fourth quarter. But while this is happening, you're getting drilled and you're going down big. But what you're hoping for is this group in this last 3 minutes and 40 seconds will do something defensively. This is the flip side, and then make a little run so that maybe you can get it down in around the 10 mark.
Harper's 3 off the mark as Starks goes down hard to the floor underneath. Mitchell trying to get the Pacers 8th point of the quarter, and he does.
You're relying on your defense. Pat Riley says, you know what? I am not allowing any runs here. Timeout, quick.
Time management in the playoffs, so important. Riley calls a timeout. 3:18 left in the third. The Knicks have jumped out to a 15-point advantage.
Now here it is right here. Well, that's a good call by Mike. Mike Mathis on the baseline. He jumped into the defender. Now there's a good steal. You got the score here now, 2-on-1.
Davis has it slapped away by Mason, who cannot believe it.
Wow, come on, he go well. But now just watch. Dale decides to take it strong. Mason thought that he had all ball that time.
At the line.
Aggressiveness to come out here and give some of that defense.
Patrick Ewing unmolested.
Unfortunately, though, you cannot allow the low post guy to catch the ball a foot from the rim.
Not much help with his Patrick Ewing. 15 for Ewing. The lob inside to Antonio Davis. Fights his way through the crowd. Indiana has possession. Anthony will head to the bench. He struggled in the first half. Pat Riley pulled him, and a technical foul has now been called. And it's going to be against Antonio Davis. That is his first. Of course, Antonio Davis tossed out of game number 1.
Now, during the course of the season, the fact that Indiana was able to put up the type of season that they had, 52 wins, when you figure that he missed 38 games because of surgery, and then that, he really is not having the type of year that he had a year ago, and it's only because of the amount of time that he's missed. Now, this is some season. 6 consecutive playoff appearance. They win their first divisional championship, 52 wins, the most since 71 in the old ABA.
When Slick Leonard was the coach.
Hey.
He's sitting to our right.
And he made, during that period of time with Slick as the coach, they were loaded. They won 3 championships in the ABA.
Well, the fans yelling something about Reggie's luck.
Yeah.
And now Greg Kite is going to come into the lineup. Antonio Davis is going to sit down. Kite, believe it or not, spent a couple of games here with the New York Knicks. He was signed on a 10-day contract by Indiana back on March 24th. Then again on April 3rd. He's a 12th-year pro to Brigham Young.
Antonio Davis just showed Larry Brown where he was hit right on the upper arm. That's why he complained.
But he's being worked on. Must be a little blood. Ewing with the rejection. His first of the ball game. Mitchell way out front.
Antonio Davis is out of the game because that upper arm is bleeding.
Mitchell lets it fly for 3. Doesn't get it. Rebound. Reggie Miller steps out of bounds. New York has the ball. Leading by 15 with an even 1 minute left in the quarter. The intensity we were hoping to feel in the first half came alive here in the third with the Knicks. As they led by as many as 19 in this quarter.
Bringing Patrick Ewing to the ball.
Kite is a big body leaning on him, and Greg Kite is going to be whistled for the foul.
Smart veteran. He's going to get the ball where the ball is supposed to go. When things break down, he can beat you off the dribble.
Jackson finally has to give it up to McKee inside. Nice job. He sits down.
You always have to approach it that way as a coach.
Mason working his magic inside. 13 in the ball game for Mason.
Miller around the screen. Oh boy, Starks really got popped that time by Dale Davis.
And Harper comes over to help out, but Dale Davis whistled for the foul.
Well, that time Starks tried to cheat, and instead of following him, he was going to space through, and Dale Davis just laid him right out. Put him right on his back.
Now Oakley wants a little help here getting the ball inside. His workman is all over Harper. Workman staying with him, and that is going to be a foul on Haywood Workman.
Always working on the opposite team's 3 top scorers. You're trying to slow them down, take away their shot attempt.
Starks buries his second 3 of the ball game.
Now, during the course of the year, the Knicks attempted 17.6 threes a game, and they made 6.5, which is right up at the top of the league. They were 6th in the league in makes.
Handing Reggie sits.
Well, they're getting back at him, but, he rises to the occasion. He's been very, very big over the last 2 previous years in the playoffs. He's taken this kind of rousing before here in New York and comes back and is able to put up big numbers.
Market Square Arena, needless to say, on Thursday night will be rocking as Derek Harper is going to take a seat.
Well, he had a fine game this evening.
Derek Harper sits down on the bench to a round of applause as he checks in with 24 points, 8 assists this evening.
The thing that I liked about his game, Ron, when any time that clock would dip inside of 6 seconds, he was breaking the play, taking Mark Jackson or Workman off the dribble because he worked extremely hard tonight defensively.
Herb Williams with the jumper. The bank is open for Herb with his 4th point of the playoffs.
Indiana is going to see the turnovers in their sleep, but also they're going to see ball penetration and kickouts in their sleep also.
32 turnovers to be exact. Just a reminder, we have Phoenix and Houston coming your way next. Antonio Davis' shot goes down. So Antonio Davis, 10 points, 8 coming in the second half. But the lead is 23, 2:39 left to play in this ball game. Once again, Game 3, Thursday night, Market Square Arena in Indianapolis. We'll have it for you on TNT. Christie making only his 2nd appearance in the playoffs. Anthony Mason sits down. 13. as the New York Knicks have evened up the best-of-7 series with an impressive showing in the second half. They win it the final 96-77. And that ties the NBA playoff record for fewest points in the second half. Only 27 in the second half. Now let's go to Kevin Kiley, who's with Derek Harper. Kevin? All right, Derek, you are our Budweiser player of the game. 27 points, 8 assists, 4 of 7.
But then their first step off a reverse move, you've got to really move.
The three by Starks, nothing but the bottom of the net. He was 16 of 40 for the playoffs coming into tonight.
He's been hot. During the year, he averaged almost 8 attempts a game. At playoff time, he's averaging 6.
Dale Davis, very aggressive as soon as he got the basketball, just turn and shoot. No hesitation this time.
Well, I like that because basically he's a garbage man. Gets everything. No plays or run for him, so it's either offensive rebounding or it's a last resort. Look out.
Ewing baseline.
That's there. That's a given. Anytime Harper wants to blow by Jackson, he can. That opens up the baseline jump shots, which we saw in Game 2.
Of course, back in '94 in the playoffs, Pacers dropped 2 in a row to New York in New York. Come back to win the next 3, and it goes.
Very tough shot by Mark Jackson. Harper's by himself here.
Miller meets Starks. They want Starks to shoot. Shot clock, a lot of time, 13. Ewing rolls, Starks kicks it back out. Oakley pulls the trigger. The putback, Smith.
Got to stay on the offensive board. You cannot release. They caught Derek McKee releasing that time. Smith just went right in and got the shot.
Whistle and a foul on Derek Harper. That'll be Derek's first personal, first team foul.
I'm Larry Brown. I'm concerned. Harper is already, and so is Starks, broken down our half-court defense easily off the dribble.
That's exactly the plan for Pat Riley. Whistle and a foul, says Bob Delaney. And that'll be on Ewing. His first. He has been in foul trouble both games in the first half. Spending most of the time on the bench.
And both centers really have been shocked at the fouls which have been called because they're used to rumbling down inside a little bit of World Wrestling 8 or 9 or whatever tournament they're in these days.
Whatever. With Lawrence Taylor, of course. Pacers 3 of their last 4, they've hit it. Miller, a lot more aggressive on offense than he was Tuesday night, but they toss it away.
Well, they would like to have him take Starks off the dribble more and get to the foul line.
Harper just launches the 3. Smith's his first rebound. Oakley knocks it out of his hands. Indiana with the ball. Knicks lead it by 1, 7-6. We've played 3 minutes here in the first quarter.
Well, Larry Brown's game plan tonight is to push the action as much as possible, try to get into transition.
McKee, nothing. The Knicks with the 4th best road record during the regular season in the NBA at 26-15. They were best in the East. Miller's going to push it.
Now, Smits is open because Ewing is way behind here.
Miller moving forward, doesn't get it. Davis, no, the tip again.
Excellent offensive effort that time.
Offensive rebounding has been a problem for the Knicks, not a problem from Indiana in this series. Whistle, foul, Smits doesn't like it. That'll be his first, the 4th team foul here in the first quarter.
Already they are, you can see this. Now watch this as Ewing gets ahead. Now as Smits comes in, see, I'm surprised they called that. They could have called the foul before.
Ewing short on the jumper. Miller comes out of the pack with the rock.
Both teams want to front the post-up people.
Miller, the off-balance shot, trying to draw the foul. Bodies everywhere. Let's see, it's going to be Indiana's basketball.
Right now, the players are having a little trouble with how the game is going to be officiated. This is a great hustle by Oakley because you can see the 2 white shirts were there first. Big thing in this game is going to be how are they going to allow the post-up players to be defensed. That's going to be a major issue as we play the 4 quarters.
Well, they're getting an idea of what the officiating is going to be like. Charles Oakley just called for the touch foul by Bob Delaney. Indiana has the ball on the far side.
But we know all year, Ron, the hand checking has been called and it has been consistent.
And it has been consistent in the playoffs. Now Ewing fronting Smith.
Well, he's got to give him the ball, see?
Miller to the hole, rejected by Charles Smith. The outlet to Starks. He has Oakley to the hole.
And that's bad basketball. They had Charles. They had Patrick Ewing fronting so far out. They force a shot, get it blocked, and it costs them. All they had to do was dump the ball in.
Starks right in front of Miller with 8 to shoot. Now Smith fronting on McKee. Miller goes around everyone to the hole. Reggie Miller, who didn't get his first field goal till 4 minutes left in the first half, gets his first, but they answer with a 3.
As soon as Reggie Miller scored, his man took off down the other end of the floor. Mark Jackson went all the way down and picked up Starks, but loose. And what happened? Harper pushes the ball, and uncontested 3.
Inside, McKee uses his body. They can't get it. The tip won't go.
Somebody's down there. He got Derek McKee got hit right in the mouth.
Smith wide open, gets the roll. Smith with 4, and the Knicks have a 4-point advantage with 6.5 in the first. They are on a 7-2 run early on.
Whenever the Knicks give you an advantage at this end of the floor, you must exploit it quickly.
Smith's shot from the baseline. His first 2 of the ballgame. Only 10 points in Game 2 following that 34-point performance, his playoff NBA high in Game 1.
Knicks have 14 points, and it's incredibly interesting how many points have been created by Harper this early in the quarter.
And he actually had a step on Jackson there, but gave it up. 6 to shoot. Ewing with 3 to shoot over Smith. Jackson has Miller on the left. Takes it himself. Bodies everywhere. Ewing's baseline won't go. Oakley with a hustle rebound. Smith trying to push off McKee. Oakley lets it fly from 18, and Charles Oakley buries it.
Indiana, an excellent help team in the lane, and you can see Harper already tonight has gotten down inside the foul line 3 times and passed out to a wing, which has resulted in a score.
He already has 5 assists in the game here. Jackson thought it was last touch by the Knicks, but New York will have possession. That is the second Indiana turnover, of course, coming off that 35 turnover performance.
Well, Mark, he knows that he made a mistake right there. He just tried to force a pass. You try to tell guys when you're playing against great half-court defensive teams, try not to pass off the dribble unless the guy is wide open, because you cannot bring it back if the defense reacts, and that's what happened there.
Oakley swings it across to Smith. He takes Davis on.
Run here. This is what you mean by the intangible man. Look how he takes this. Now you're talking about a guy 7'4", 270 pounds coming down in and ramming right into your chest. That's the value of an Oakley.
Knicks lead it by 2. Inside, Ewing over the outstretched hand. And they have a 3-point advantage. 3:20 left to be played in the first.
Now they're posting up Antonio Davis. Oh, that was great.
Beautiful
rotation.
defense.
Great rotation.
Oakley behind the back to Mason, who wasn't expecting it, and he still puts it home.
Bad pass by the Oak man. Okay, he threw that one into a cluster of people. That was a nice finish though by Anthony Mason.
Biggest lead of the game for the Knicks. Now McKee trying to post on Mason. Mason gives this Indiana team a lot of problems. Miller, strong move to the hole.
That's the 3rd time Reggie Miller has taken Starks all the way off of a reverse move.
Starks for 3, and he buries it, his 3rd of the ball game.
See on fire. You know, before the game tonight, Ron, he was out here, and he was not missing. He worked up a terrific sweat, working on his 3-point shooting.
Starks 3 for 3 from the arc, 9 points tonight. And he gets up on top of Reggie Miller. Knicks by 4, they have the ball. Anthony.
This will be an excellent battle right here.
Anthony got in Pat Riley's doghouse in game 2. Starks again, and he buries his 4th of the ball game.
Now you have to give a lot of credit to the screen people on the baseline. They have freed him up now 3 times in this right-hand corner, and it's because of the hard screens on Reggie Miller. Now Miller's going to have to do a better job.
Smith now fronting the post again. Then he fouls on Byron Scott, his first, all the way to the hole. Anthony abuses Mark Jackson.
See, this is a tough decision for Larry Brown. If you notice, when Workman was in there, no point guard got to the rim.
Mason sees an opening. Oakley back to Starks for 3. John Starks, 5 3-pointers tonight.
Outstanding ball movement. Not one guy in 4 catches forced a shot, and they all could have forced the shot.
John Starks, 5 of 6 from the arc.
Mason doing a good job fronting the key.
Antonio Davis brings Patrick Ewing way out, then he drops his first field goal of the ball game. Scott on Starks. Oakley rolls, wide open jumper, and he drills it.
Hey, the Knicks are shooting like they think they're still in Madison Square Garden. But remember,
basketball.
At the top, we told you, they are 2-0 in this building this year. They've defeated Indiana twice.
New York 50%. Oakley trying to come up with a steal. 6 to shoot. Starks get throws and rebounding the key. So far, those keys are going well. Starks his first 2 of the ball game.
Reggie Miller was not loose, and when Starks stopped on a dime, Reggie Miller staggered backwards, opening up enough room for the uncontested J.
Good call. Starks now 6 of 8, 17 points, 15 from the arc. Davis faces up on Ewing, backs him down.
See, Patrick knows that he really does not want to take the shot.
Miller, the running jumper as the shot clock goes.
We're not talking about Miller not wanting to shot. We're talking about Dale Davis.
I think Miller's going to have his 15-20 touches tonight, the way things are going. Didn't get a lot of touches in the game number 2. Harper lets it go from 3, and Derek Harper buries the 3-pointer. Now 16 of 26 in the playoffs from the arc.
During the year, the Knicks attempted 17 and made 6 during the course of the season. Tonight, they are 6 for 9.
Mitchell sees an opening down the right side of the lane. That's going to be an offensive foul. Harper sees the double, gives it up to Mason. Ewing wide open on the baseline. Nobody sees him. Starks pulls it from 3. Buries his 6th 3.
The team needs that, but he needs it for his offensive confidence.
Now the crowd into it. It is loud. Stolen by McKee. Wade should have it done. Starks with the rejection, but Miller is there to clean it up. What hustle by John Starks.
Now that's steal by McKee.
Mitchell, the offensive ball, and he throws it right into the hands of Oakley. Harper on the right. Oakley to Mason. The finger roll.
Excellent anticipation. Larry Brown extremely frustrated, and that was terrific one-on-one defense on a guy who has been on fire in the series. But speaking on fire, John Starks' first half is nothing short of sensational. And Ewing will always help. That will open Smits up in front of the rim.
Knicks led by as many as 8. Oakley from deep.
They're still on fire. Oakley 4 for 6 in this game from the field. All long jump shots.
Last year when the Pacers took 3 in a row from the New York Knicks, they did it defensively, holding the Knicks to just 77 points in those losses during the playoffs.
Now that's their 12th turnover. That's Mark Jackson's 4th turnover.
Miller sets a pick to try to free up Smits. McKee, Harper shows the double. Right back down. Smith is there to take it away.
Now that's Mark Jackson's 5th turnover. Off that staggered screen. That was a beautiful split as well as a great head fake.
9 of 13. Starks back to Oakley from 19. He parries it.
This is like a shootout in some corral between Oakley and Starks, except Oakley's taking it a step closer.
And 1 point less, and he's 5 and 7.
Right.
Miller again dishes it off to Jackson. Looks inside, tries to force the pass. Another turnover. Mark Jackson. Starks, Oakley underneath, all alone.
Where's Dale Davis? Right now, Mark Jackson has 3 quick turnovers. And they did not give him a time. They called a timeout. The officials did not give him a timeout.
Well, the Knicks players were already on the court. Mark Jackson was heading over to sit down on the bench. You see his story this evening. Jackson needs to get something going offensively for this ball club.
Absolutely. Now he's just got to run the team without turning the ball over.
Larry Brown talked about his key players stepping up in this game. He's challenged them. Ewing with the block.
Technical
foul on Rick Smits.
See, Smits wanted the foul that time on the shot.
Jump ball.
Stationary with the arms up.
Reggie also lost the handle of the basketball. Moves into Starks, offensive foul. And that'll be a technical foul on Reggie Miller. And they're throwing things at the arena. He uses the left hand. Davis inside. He is going to be hammered on the play.
Well, they'll hit him hard. Mainly because he's a 50% foul shooter. And anytime that you're in the 50s, they will not allow you to get a dunk. Now you're going to see your first move right here. A potential block that time by Ewing. Now watch Davis as he comes down. See, they're fouling him hard.
Ewing baseline. Stolen by Oakley again.
Another bad pass down the middle of the floor to start the fast break.
Starks for 3, and he buries his 7th. One off the record set by Dan Marley in a playoff game.
We sound like a broken record. They make a great outlet pass. They get a great rebound, make the outlet pass right into traffic.
Pacers trail by 6, nearing 4.5 in the third. Ewing wide open baseline over the outstretched hands of Smits.
Well, there's no way that Smits can be asked to trap the player coming over the pick and roll, and as Ewing spots up, then get back to you. There has to be another guy in the rotation here.
Somebody needs to help. Ewing with 9, whistle, Mason. The foul on him, his first, 4th team foul.
That's this time. 4 minutes this year. His points went up, his shooting, everything went up. That's great to see because he's a hard-working kid.
Mason gets away from Antonio Davis. Count the basket. We have a whistle. And a post on Davis. 9 to shoot. Oakley, 11 third-quarter points. 5 to shoot. Starks back to Oakley. Lets it fly for 3. Charles Oakley with the 3. His 2nd of the playoffs.
You just can't say enough because Oakley and Starks have just put the dagger in the hearts of Indiana with few seconds on that clock. Time and time again.
Hit by Jackson. 3 to shoot. Ewing launches it from deep. Oh, he buries it.
My, oh my.
And it is a 2. What a shot by Patrick Ewing. The lead is back to 9. Another challenge being pushed aside by the Knicks.
Can they continue making that in the next 8:40? That's going to be a big key.
Smits backing in. Ewing. Whistle. Patrick got a hand on it.
Good call.
5 on Patrick Ewing.
Yeah,
he doesn't get the roll. Loose ball foul. And it's going to be on Dale Davis. That'll be number 4 on him.
Over the top. See, the Knicks are working hard in trying to block out right now. Indiana's had a field trip.
Harper spending some time. Pick on Ewing. And he is gone.
They get the call.
6 personal fouls on Patrick Ewing. Fouling out with
Charles Smith.
Smith has him hooked. No foul. Adam hooked with the left arm. We've got a whistle and a grab.
Oh, they got a good call. Delaney had that one all the way. Now keep an eye on this nice move. Smith is out of the game because that's his 6th. They're bringing in Herb Williams now.
Ewing out. Smith out.
Mason playing with five. And at the line, it will be Derek McKee.
See, Charles Smith honestly did not think that he fouled him. But the referee on this side of the floor had a perfect look at Charles Smith for one. Big thing now is you do not want to waste a lot of time.
Smith, one dribble, the shot over time.
Reggie Miller catches an inbound pass. Starks hits it off his foot out of bounds. 2 turnovers.
The Pacers have come back to win.
Pacers win.
Just kind of bump in and fall back and draw the foul.
Indiana with a 4-2 lead. 3 minutes in. Smith changes his mind. Starks downtown. John Starks, who hit 6 3-pointers in the first half on Thursday, hitting on his first from downtown. Third best record at home in the NBA. Here's Starks. John Starks. Larry Brown has been very unhappy with his play.
He's done a good job so far, Mark. 3 assists, no turns.
Pacers by 4. Ewing stumbled and will recover to get it to Hopper, who hits the 3.
And Patrick Ewing will get an assist there, but a beautifully quick spin move on the baseline for Patrick Ewing. He just lost the handle on it, but right into the hands of teammate Derek Harper.
Indiana by 1. McKee had the baseline closed by Smith. Shot clock at 7. Jackson for Smith. Oakley with the rebound.
Rick Smith is always wandering around the perimeter. 2 shots ago, maybe a little bit outside his range, but that's the kind of shot Rick Smith will give you with the shot clock winding down. He always pops to that little open 14-foot area.
Ewing just 31% going back to the 3 games against the Atlanta Hawks. Shot clock at 5. Nice look from Ewing. Anthony able to hit, and Anthony just tossed the ball at Dale Davis, and he's called for a technical foul. Ewing, Patrick Ewing, showing a move that he usually is able to hit when he's healthy. Rick Smits saying yesterday doesn't seem to have the same kind of follow-through as he's seen in the past.
But his particularly foot movement that time had a nice flow to it, the best I've seen.
Sealy went to the Clippers in the trade involving Charles Smith and Doc Rivers. And speaking of Smith, Charles able to stuff it. The Pacers now lead 33-29.
All set up by Mark Jackson getting beat in the backcourt by Greg Anthony, and that's what Jackson can do. Cannot put pressure in the backcourt and contain.
The fake. Yes. Patrick Ewing fake. Miller with the jumper. The tip missed and a foul is called. Smith. And tipped home. Oakley able to work his way inside and brings the Knicks within 3 points.
One of the
save. Starks keeping it alive. Starks to the left hand. And the Pacer lead is now 1.
And that is New York Knicks basketball. When Charles Oakley is throwing his body on the floor, good things happen for the Knicks.
Oakley. Yes. Ewing playing the lead and then able to hit. Matches 10 of 17 at the line this series. What a pass from a key touch. Back in the offense. Ewing, yes. Patrick Ewing with 16. The Knicks with their first field goal in this 3rd quarter. It took 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
It looks like Patrick Ewing can make that move anytime he wants to against Rick Smith. Rick does not move his feet quickly enough.
Same pass thrown by Jackson from McKee, but this time he was able to find Mitchell.
Pacers a little bit quicker now, playing with a lot of emotion. The crowd is involved. They got it going. Riley, I should say, just turns and walks away as he hates that play.
And Reggie Miller coming right back to take advantage.
And the Knicks are becoming unglued right now. The pressure defense of the Pacers has them totally out of whack.
And that's the story in the 4th quarter as Hopper is able to stop the Indiana run. In the 4th quarter, Thursday night in Game 3, Larry Brown very proud of the pressure defense put on by his club. The Knicks without a field goal the final 7 minutes and 24 seconds of regulation. Jackson for Smith. 61-48 lead. brings the Knicks back within 10.
Well, it's like a heavyweight fighter. Marbu is just taking a lot of hits and a lot of punches right now. The Knicks have to try to weather this storm. They'll have a timeout coming up shortly.
Smith's battling for position, able to take the pass. The second quarter. Larry Brown did the same on Thursday, and he came back strong. Here's Charles Smith. So the Pacers lead 63-53.
Well, the Knicks have gotten a couple of silencers from Derek Harper from the perimeter, but that was the best executed set play by the Knicks in quite some time.
And for the Indiana Pacers from this capacity, 5 turnovers committed by the Knicks here in the third quarter. Well, Spike Lee has made the trip to Indianapolis, and apparently had something to say to Reggie Miller a moment ago, but it's been all Pacers here in the third quarter. They lead 65-53. Indiana with a 22-9 run, first 7 minutes of the third. Here's Miller for three. Indiana. Ewing off the head fake. Patrick Ewing with 18 points. We're coming up on 3 minutes to go in the third.
Patrick continues to make that move on Rick Smith. That shot was challenged in a big way. Patrick able to get it over Smith.
And a foul is called. That is number 4 on Ewing. That he liked by Smith. Went to the drive. Tipped home by Oakley.
It's amazing how Rick Smith just keeps giving Patrick Ewing that avenue into where he is his favorite shot. That one was a little bit off balance compared to the runners he's taken earlier.
Ewing is playing with 4 fouls. Smith shot.
He had a feeling he got a 500-pound weight off his shoulder, and that's the first fast break basket for the Pacers in this second half.
John Starks with a 3. John Starks has been 66.
The Knicks have gone to their 3-guard lineup, the small team, which Charles Oakley does not like, but Pat Riley has to get a team out there who can get a flurry of offense going.
Derek Harper in beating the Bulls. How about Michael Jordan down the stretch? Davis, it counts, and the foul.
He bounced back in style.
Mark Jackson with 10 assists. Patrick Ewing with 20 points. He is playing with 5 fouls. Advantage. In fact, in Game 3 Thursday, the Knicks set a franchise record fewest rebounds in a playoff game. Oh! Anna by Mason. Davis for 3. Yes. And the Knicks are still alive. Down 87-78. We come up on 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Indiana led by as many as 18. Starks guarding McKee. The Knicks with a 3-guard setup that has helped get them back into it. Smith's not a good shot. Ewing rebounds. The outlet for Starks. Setting up Davis for 3. Comes to Anthony, and the Knicks get another possession. 15-6 run by the Knicks. Anthony got the step on Jackson. The tip by Mason. The Pacer lead is down to 7.
And the back.
Bob and Showtime. Here's Ewing firing up a 3. Patrick Ewing from downtown. So Ewing with 25 points, and the Knicks are down 94-84. Half minute left. They broke it open in the third quarter after trailing by 1 at the half. The high man of the game, Smith with 25, Miller with 21, Patrick Ewing with 25 on 10 of 17 from the field.
Miller's face on that shot release.
Smith now backing in on McKee. Goes in deep and has the easy 2.
No one can guard him. If they'll just clear and give him that ball in that area, he can shoot over any small forward that plays him, and especially when they have Dwayne Farrell on him, that's a major mismatch.
Smith's over the nudge, huh?
Oh, he is, definitely.
Oh, Patrick does the 3, doesn't get it. Oakley to rebound. Oh, Starks tried the touch pass to Ewing.
They have been consistent, these guys.
Starks with the jam right back after
For the Knicks to come out of this.
Larry Brown, who was concerned at the beginning of this series with Anthony Mason, said he presents our team problems, but not this evening so far. McKee with a right-handed hook, doesn't get it. Starks takes it away from the blue jerseys. To Mason. To Starks, he'll launch it for three. Rebound, Hubert Davis. Charles Smith spins in a crowd. No foul. Ball will belong to the Pacers. Knicks cannot believe it.
Now, if you don't get the...
Davis pops out. 17 to shoot. He lets go with a three. Hubert Davis buries the three. The Knicks have the lead.
Yeah, I would not cut him through anymore when he passes into the post. They're not hitting him, so let him stay. Maybe he can get you another couple threes here.
Only his fourth three of this series. Works into the hole. Another big basket. Rejected by Ewing. Smith wanted a goaltend.
Got to look up.
Davis, the crossover, the layup. Ewing!
Oh, God. They had Smith and Ewing all over that offensive rebound.
Timeout, Indiana. The Knicks have regained the lead by one.
Now you're going to see a great move right here by Hayward Worker. He's taking on the shot blocking ability of Ewing. Now keep an eye right here. Look to the right of the screen. There you go. Smith and Ewing both up on it. Ewing leads his man and comes and gets that baby on the way up. Now at this end of the floor, Hubert could have given it up to his left. Instead, he takes it to the hole, and now it's debatable. I give both of them 1 point. Smith and Ewing.
They gave Smith two, but I agree with you. Give Patrick one. Three late changes in the last minute of play. Larry Brown read his team the riot act during the timeout about allowing Charles Smith to control the boards. Ewing and Smith. Now Ewing. Smith. Oh! Rick Smith does not get the jam. The putback won't go, but there's the follow.
Just amazing, because Smith did that with the buzzer ready to go off. But give Indiana credit. They're right on that offensive glass.
And another lead change. Nearing 6 minutes left in the ball game. Will there be a game 6? And to shoot.
Indiana doing a great job on the initial continuity by the Knicks.
Mason, baseline, reverse, it rolls around and down.
Now that's the Anthony Mason that won the Six-Man Award.
Exactly.
That's the one that they all want to root for here.
The Knicks by one. 5 in the fourth quarter for Mason.
They're looking to run a curl for Reggie. Two-man game.
Mason on McKee. Backs his way, the fall away, won't find the net. Mason, the rebound, he takes it himself.
Well, you've got to guard him because he'll take it all the way up and then drop it off.
Hopefully set the check back into the Knicks lineup. Jackson for the Pacers.
Two-man game with Patrick.
Patrick gave Smith a big-time elbow. The lead is back to 3 during 3 minutes of the ball game. Smith. The cutting Sam Mitchell. He's surrounded by white jerseys. Miller lets it go. Doesn't get the 3. But they'll get another opportunity. He'll try it again. Smith will give him a third try.
Oh,
to Davis.
Pass.
No. Jackson. Miller for 3. No. Loose ball. Ewing comes up with it. A 19,000 stand. 4-on-1. Mason. Otis.
This is just a great sequence. That shot was blocked, and he had the upper body strength to still send that baby down. Three great defensive efforts by the Knicks. Stark Knicks. Now just watch as they spin in here, and here it comes. Patrick with a block. Now watch Starks recover and run all the way to the corner. Reggie puts it in the hole, and it does not drop. And the Knicks execute at the opposite end, and this is just a power move by Anthony Mason. Great upper body strength.
All of 8 Mason points coming here in the fourth. They get 9. Indiana just 3 for 14, 21% here in the fourth.
Man game. You've got to go, Joe. You can't wait.
Score inside of 2 minutes.
I'm happy for him because he's a very hard worker and he understands his role on this team and he's a positive guy.
Ewing, Oakley, baseline jumper, nothing but the bottom of the net.
In this game, the entire night, we're seeing some great passing as the defense rotates and comes at you. The play basketball.
3 guards in the offense. Miller, Workman, and Scott. Workman to the hole. Tosses it up. Rebound. Workman has it rejected by Mason. Smith comes up with it with 10 to shoot. Miller for 3. Smith, the offensive rebound. Reggie from 30 feet. Buries it.
My!
Have mercy.
What a shot. He was 2 for 9 in threes before that shot. Now the Knicks are going to have to shoot because there is an 8-second difference in the clock.
Ewing with a right hand. Doesn't get it. Offensive rebound. We're going to jump it up. Mason and hopefully had a hand on it.
Now there's a break for the Knicks. Right now you're in a jump ball. Whoever gets this ball, is in outstanding shape. The Knicks are up 2. If Indiana gets it, they have 1 full timeout.
Miller, the big 3. He had 25 in Game 5 last year between these 2 teams. The tip. Indiana will have the basketball in the last shot.
Yeah, he wants him to go. Larry told him to go. Big thing now. Watch out for this guy.
For the lead! My goodness gracious!
Holy mackerel!
Byron Scott with the 3-pointer coming into tonight. He was 0 for 3 from the arc. And he has his first of the playoffs.
He missed one earlier. Now, this puts pressure on the Knicks. You've got to come out of here with something major. Now, a straight-in pass to Patrick Ewing. 5.9 seconds, Ron. It's a ton of time.
A lot of time. You can get a couple of dribbles off if you need it.
Now, Indiana still has 1 timeout left. New York, 1 timeout. See, guard-to-guard stuff, they'll switch. They just did it again.
Starks to Ewing. The spin move for the win. Yes! With 1.8 left. Timeout, Indiana. Larry Brown wanted to travel. Don't start celebrating yet if you wear blue and orange. You have 1.8 before there is Game 6 at Markham Square.
Now keep an eye on Patrick Ewing. He comes down, sets a half screen. Now he's an outlet right here. Now watch this reverse move. He comes back, jump stop, and he shoots that jumper. That was a primetime move. Now keep an eye on Patrick. He starts Antonio Davis as he swings back, jump stop up in your face. You're going to see Patrick Ewing will come down in here and set a screen for Stark. Once that pass is made, watch what happens. Patrick will come right back to the foul line area. They go right into him right here. Now it's up to him to create or kick out. And I'm happy for Patrick for one reason, because he's really labored with his injuries. Now, Patrick has 19 points. He's only 8 for 21 in field goals in this game. But I'm just happy for him because he's he's overcome the frustrations of an injury. Now, they're still 1.8, and when you have the Mad Bombers that Indiana has, Byron Scott as well as Reggie Miller, you have guys that can make a catch and shoot a shot from anywhere on this floor. The main point, though, is Indiana has no timeouts. Now, me, I'm a big advocate with this amount of time of denying the pass. You have got to cut down the passing angle to the corner and to the foul line extended. Now, you cut off those two areas, a player would have to get a pass coming out towards half court.
After last night and this game, I'm going to say it. I love this game.
A lot of pressure here.
Mitchell, Workman, Scott, Reggie Miller, and Rick Smith into the lineup for the Pacers.
All right, now they are putting Oakley on the man out of bounds. Dan Mitchell. Now Oakley, let's see if he goes at him or he turns and takes any player on the way out. See, the main issue right now is that you have got to switch on every single ball cross on a screen, but you do not want Mitchell to throw a lob to the front of this rim.
Miller trying to get away from Stars.
And Oakley tries to double team.
Here it is for the win! No! And we will have a Game 6 Friday night in Indianapolis.
Now that was allowed because that thing almost went down.
That almost found nothing but the bottom of the net. Smith, one dribble, the big jam. Oh my! Hurt the rim, Charles Smith, and he is hurt.
Yes, he is.
He is hurt underneath the basket. Slow to get up. But what a jam. Maybe that ranks up with Anthony Bonner's Wednesday night.
Oh, that was over the top of a defensive player inside of him. Now keep an eye. Look at this. Right over the top of Dale Davis.
He is playing
that is a monster dunk.
Oh, big time. He's playing with an injured right thigh. He suffered early in this season, or this series. Still no double. Smith tries to come over and help. Whistle and another foul. Token pressure put on by the Pacers. Charles Oakley. Oakley bobbled it to Ewing. Lets it fly. Ewing his first two. Smith's though on the other end. 3 of 3 from the floor. He has 8.
Pat Riley right now has to be comfortable with his offense. He's getting good luck. But he's going to have to make a decision here if this guy continues to score at the pace he is. Now, they've just put Charles Smith on him.
Miller well off the mark. Oakley comes down with a loose ball.
So you'll see Ewing, Charles Smith, Oakley, and Mason all take shots at Rick Smith's in this game.
The most success they had was in the fourth quarter on Wednesday night. Outside, Oakley. Charles Oakley with his 4th point of the evening.
You can't keep giving him that shot, Ron. Now that's 4 wide open shots. The Oak man can knock that baby down, and he is a high percentage shooter during the course of the season. You know he's right up at that 50% mark.
Well, they forced Reggie to put the ball on the floor, which is something Pat Riley was hoping to do. He said Reggie was getting too many quick shots off the pick and roll. Now Smith posting on McKee, and they're battling underneath.
Well, Derek has done a good job on Charles defensively. But then again, they had the second-best home record in the league at 33-8.
Second to Orlando. Oakley.
Strong, in-your-face move.
It's do or die for the Knicks. Their backcourt 0 for 5 so far this evening.
There's your lob.
To Ewing off the glass. Mason was open underneath.
Plenty of time. 10 seconds. Plenty of time.
Oakley for 3. Nothing but the bottom of the net. That is their biggest lead of the game. If they lose, it's tea time at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Ewing over Smith's. Nothing but the bottom of... baseline, nice. Ewing. Mason right around Smith. Hangs in the air. Count the basket.
Miller, as this pass comes out, watch Reggie Miller shed Starks right there. See? And Dick Pivetta had that all the way. That forearm. Now, right now, see, that was reflex action.
Ewing backs his way in. The fall away baseline. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Patrick Ewing. 14 in the first half for Ewing. Miller, who's 0 for 4. We have a whistle and a foul on Charles Smith.
Well, that was two guys fighting for position. Keep an eye now. See, Smith is playing on the top side, but right there, he catches them. Now you say, well, that could have gone either way. Well, during the course of this game, you're absolutely right. It can go either way. And usually the guy who retaliates is the one who gets caught.
Antonio Davis during the regular season just 67% from the line. In the
double teams, which will open up in the second half perimeter people.
Tied at 34 at the 4-minute mark of the second quarter. Harper with the left hand. The scoop shot goes down.
Cannot hit the open shots.
Oakley from outside. He drains the jumper. Charles Oakley with 11 first half points. The Knicks with a 5-point advantage.
Ewing and Oakley are saying, you know, we really don't need guards tonight. We're draining every J that we're taking from out there.
Harper only has 2. Starks hasn't scored, and Davis hasn't scored. Now Scott swings it across to Jackson. Davis trying to post up on Ewing. Scott had the big 3 in Game 5, and he drains the big 3 in Game 6.
That was big because he was fumbling the catch. I thought he shot that with his elbow.
I didn't think he was ever going to get a handle on it. 2-point Knick advantage. Starks works around Antonio Davis.
It's an exciting but ugly.
It is. 30 fouls have already been called here in the first half. Pacers with a 1-point advantage. Mitchell now guarding Mason. Mitchell asking for some help. Mason muscling his way in for 2.
That's there. That's there. No way can Farrell or Mitchell play Mason from behind on the box.
7 for Mason in the first half.
There's that back screen by Reggie Miller.
Miller, no field goal so far. Has it slapped away by Harper. Looked like it hit off Miller's leg and it belonged to the Knicks.
Let's keep a look at it. You're going to see it right there is the strip. It hits right in the knee.
Ewing, Oakley, and Smith 11 of 16 from the floor. The rest of the team just 3 of 13. Ewing falling down, buries the jumper. 17 points now for Patrick Ewing. The Pacer lead remains at 1. Smith with the right.
Again, Ewing head up on him, and already he's 2 for 2. I think he's proving that he's still on fire.
Oh, double him up. Nice pass to Starks with his first field goal of the ball game. And the second half is usually not kind for John Starks. He only averages 3 points in the second half the last 3 games of this series.
Right now, Harper 1 for 5, Starks 1 for 5. At this end, Miller 0 for 4, Jackson. Give Dale Davis a lot of credit. Every time he's taken a shot or gone for a rebound, everything is lefty. Because you know he cannot get that right hand fully extended up over that shoulder.
Ewing now faces up, goes baseline, right around for the slam.
See, that's there, and they know it. That's why Patrick is posting up off the lane. Anytime he catches it, he turns and faces. He's blowing right by Smith.
Oakley on the cut with a slam. Beautiful pass, Patrick Ewing to Charles Oakley.
You cannot go and double team a guy when that guy who passed it to the post is cutting to the basket unless someone is picking him up.
The Knicks have regained the lead by 2. Here comes the double. Oakley combination good for 32 points tonight, and the Knicks on a 7-1 run. Boy, Jackson has just been flattened as Harper buries the 3. Derek Harper, 15 of 27 from the arc.
Now Starks and Harper were 0 for 4 in threes before that make tonight. Here's a clear out for Reggie.
Goes baseline, a lot of blue bodies around him. Miller still looking for his first field goal.
Look out long here, Indiana.
Starks for 3, buries it. 2 in a row by the Knick guards.
The Mad Bombers, you cannot fall asleep. When you shoot and miss, they released both guards that time, and they were down the floor.
A 13-1 run.
For 3 years, he averaged 12 points a game. He's giving them a terrific lift this evening.
New York won this regular season series between these two teams, 3 games to 1. The only Indiana win was on April 4th. Ewing, beautiful jump stop.
Beautiful jump stop move. You know, right now you know that Patrick as well as Smith, not very quick with lateral movement, but that was a magnificent move by Ewing.
21 points for Ewing on 8 of 11 shooting. Smith's the double quickly by Oakley and Ewing.
You've got to do that. Must take Smits out of this game. You cannot give him good looks at the basket.
Ewing drops inside. The bank is closed. Rebound. Smith the outlet to Harper.
3 on 3.
Harper wisely backs it out. Pat Riley told us today they wanted to take Rick Smits' eyes away from him on the double, so he cannot see where he's going.
How's a down screen for Starks? 2-man game.
5 to shoot. Ewing lost the handle. Whistle and a foul. Fans wanted a charge. Larry Brown is up and yelling. 7 to shoot. Anthony forces the jumper, but he hit no. He turns to his left and he's got a layup. Now he goes left, up in the air. Anthony Mason.
They know they've got that. See, Sam Mitchell, he cannot play him, Ron. He needs a double team help there.
A 6-0 run has opened up a 13-point Knick lead, the biggest of the game. Smits now guarded by Oakley.
Pacers have a 13-point quarter. Right now, 13 points in this quarter.
And that is a traveling call on the Indiana Pacers. 27 to 13, the Knicks have outscored Indiana in this quarter. Starks back to the lineup, and Hubert Davis in.
What they did is they just took out Herb Williams. They're going with it. They couldn't stop them.
Anthony for 3. He buries the... The Knicks have scored only 4 points in 4 minutes here in the fourth. Hubert Davis buries the 3.
Now that was big. Ron, he caught that ball with his momentum going backwards, and he got that shot off.
Major league shot by Hubert Davis, who has struggled in this series.
Good defense, Anthony on Jackson.
Miller tries to answer. Offensive rebound. Jackson for 3. No. Jackson again to Miller. Over Ewing. Count the basket, and we have a foul. Ewing has 5 personal fouls.
You're coaching the Knicks now. That's inexcusable. They missed the 3. Jackson gets the rebound. A guard gets the rebound below the foul line. And then give Reggie Miller a lot of credit. He jumped right up into the chest of Patrick Ewing over the top for the 3.
And Pat Riley takes Ewing out.
Oh, he has to take him out because you still have 7:20 to go.
Miller 4 for 4 from the line. 9 points for Reggie Miller, 7 in the second half.
Right now the Knicks need maximum execution. They're trying to post up Charles Smith. Now Mitchell cannot let
Oakley for 3 over Rick Smits.
Give me a break, will you? Give me a break.
Believe that?
Oh, my.
His second 3 of the game. Oakley was incredibly intense in the locker room prior to the game. Miller with the scoop.
Beautiful.
Starting to heat up here at Market Square.
Well, he took that one strong. And then the extension run was nice because he flipped that one up there.
Reggie, 8 points in the fourth quarter. The first time we saw him take it strongly. That's going to be a carry on Derek Harper.
Yeah, good call.
15 New York turnovers. Oakley trying to pull Harper away.
Well, execution is the key. Plus the Knicks, I almost said it, were taking too much time off the clock to get into the continuity. They only had 12 seconds on the shot clock. Big O knocking down his second 3 of the game.
Will that be enough? A lot of time left, 6:25.
They're bringing Smits on the baseline and a high screen and roll for Miller. And a
Oakley
foul.
with a touch foul.
Yeah, he knew it. You could hear it over here.
That is 5 on Oakley. Knicks in major foul problem. Mason had great position. Davis for 3. Smith trying to keep it alive. Last touch by the Pacers. It'll be New York's basketball.
Mason and Smith never gave up on that ball. And I think it surprised the Indiana guys who were inside, Ron, because they definitely should get this rebound. Now keep an eye on this. Watch over the top. Mason gets a piece of it. Smith hit that one right down from behind.
Working around to Charles Smith. The jumper off the mark. Oakley back out to Harper with 15 to shoot.
Plenty of time here. But you've got to get into your offense. You're now inside of 10 seconds.
Oakley for two over Smits again. No. Rebound. Here come the Pacers and Reggie Miller.
He'll take it all
The
away.
stutter dribble to the hole. See on Reggie.
Now you can see Starks is taking this one all the way, and he gets the bump. Unfortunately,
Misses. Smits tries to keep it alive. Starks with Ewing running the court. And he lost the handle.
Hey, Patrick knew he should have caught that. But you also know when you're running in that situation, don't give it to him unless he is wide open, okay? That was a hard pass, a little bit behind him, but it still went right through his hands.
3-point Knick lead, 4:40 left to play.
Two-man game now, Miller and Smits.
Mason,
bad
great defensive
pass.
play. Bad pass, good defense.
Now the Knicks have got to get into some kind of offense here and get Ewing back in the game.
Ewing going to set a pick on Miller. Starks to Oakley. Count the basket. We have a foul. Oakley with the big three a moment ago and the big two now. Nipping with Smits.
Hey, Mason is working hard, and so is Smits.
Miller traveled with it before he knocked down Anthony Mason.
Now that was outstanding anticipation by Mason. Watch as the ball goes out. Watch Mason. Give Mason his due, see? Came right over, took it, catches Reggie, forced him into a travel. Plus Reggie was behind the board.
Oh, Reggie just took a big pick from Ewing. Stark shot off balance. Oakley had it, lost it. Pacers have the basketball. 3:47 left. The Knicks by 5.
That was a tough shot. Bad shot, percentage-wise, from Starks. And then Oakley going up strong. You would think that he could have gotten a foul that time, or maybe even a ball fake. Oakley is working hard on the inside, and Indiana must pay attention to him now.
Now McKee tries to work on Oakley as Jackson faces up with Harper.
Nice
Inside, good move. Davis shot off the rim. Ewing had the rebound. Oakley comes up with it. Boy, they've had point-blank shots throughout the entire evening.
They've been able to hit their big guys underneath. Unfortunately, the big guys have been missing those shots all night long. Right now, they're inside of 10 seconds. They've taken too much time here, Ron.
5 to shoot.
Too much time.
Starks lets it go for 3. Oh, my goodness! John Starks with his second of the ball game.
Now, you had question right there. Why did Reggie Miller go for the steal? See, the clock was down. You always try to tell your guys, don't go for the steal when the clock is down. It's important to get position. Make him shoot over us. Instead, you go, you miss the steal, he's wide open.
Okay, now let's check in with Kevin Conley. Kevin?
Rod, in the last huddle, Larry Brown to Reggie Miller, he said, hey, if they front you, you've got to drive. You're not going to get any gifts. And Larry Brown was not happy. Back to you, Ron and Yubi.
The difference in this game in threes, New York 7 for 14. Indiana only 2 for 13. They're only shooting 28% in this series, and here's one open right there.
Wide open, and Reggie Miller makes him pay with his second 3 of the ball game. The lead is 5 inside of 2:40 left to be played.
Yeah, that's inexcusable that he's open that far, Ron. You're inside in 3 minutes.
Starks rejected big time by Davis.
Look out.
Miller walked with it. Nope.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's a walk. Jack
You know
Neese
why?
faked me out. He double clutched. And a technical foul's called on Reggie Miller. An ill-timed technical. Double dribble. Harper went to hand it off to Mason.
Yeah, give him the ball.
And that's what Oakley says. He grabs him and shoves him. Says, get out of his face.
What's he doing? I mean, he definitely turned the ball over.
The lead is 6 by the Knicks. Miller, 12, last 12 Indiana points.
If you're a Knicks fan, you say, wait a second, that was just a fumble, and he didn't dribble when he picked it up.
Offensive foul and lead.
Two-man game, Starks and Ewing.
Inside of 2 minutes, Ewing, the big step, and the big basket by Patrick Ewing.
And the big fella made a big shot.
Patrick Ewing, 25 points, and Indiana wants a 20-second timeout. But what an effort by that man. We've talked about it.
Antonio Davis come right in here. Look at that extension. Patrick gets it right over the top of the hand.
If you're a Knicks,
We'll have a Game 7. Pat Riley in his book Showtime says any team can be a miracle team. The catch is you have to go out and work for your miracle. And the Knicks had one tonight.
Well, great. Terrific job. Terrific game.
Well, Patrick Ewing was the man tonight. As the Knicks win it 92-82, Patrick is with Kevin Kiley. Kevin?
Thank you, Ron. Patrick, you knew you could win this game.
Oh, definitely. We believed in ourselves. We know that we had to come out here and get the job done. And, we felt that if I was in the ball game, then we had a great opportunity to win a game. And I stayed out of foul trouble for the most part. And my leg was feeling better, so I was able to play a good game.
Rick Smits has had a tough time in the fourth period. You have come on in the last two games. The matchup, the numbers very deceiving. Why do you dominate Rick Smits, not you, but the team in the fourth?
Well, Rick Smits is having an outstanding series, but we try to put a lot of fresh body on him. Myself, Mays, Charles Smith, sometimes Charles Oakley, try to wear him down.
Back to New York.
Oh, definitely. Game 7, and we're gonna move on from there.
Patrick, great game. Congratulations.
Hello to my father.
All right, hi, Mr. Ewing. Back to Ron and Yubi.
Kevin, last year Patrick Ewing said after Game 6 or prior to Game 6, we'll see you Sunday. He said it again prior to this Game 6, and it is part 2. And tonight's Budweiser player of the game is Patrick Ewing. Yeoman's effort again from the big guy. 25 points, 15 rebounds, throwing a couple of blocks. And he is our Budweiser player of the game.
Last time that a road team won a Game 7 was back in May of 1982 when Philadelphia knocked off Boston up in Boston. The home team had won 20 consecutive Game 7s before yesterday. This is the 128th consecutive home sellout. And they are ready, as we are, for the introduction of the starting lineups. Here is the public address voice of the Garden, Mike Wilsevsky.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. Today's Game 7 of the 1995 NBA Conference Semifinals features the Indiana Pacers and your New York Knicks. Here are today's starting lineups. First for the Pacers, at guard at 6'1" from St. John's, number 13, Mark Jackson. At guard at 6'7" from UCLA, number 31, Reggie Miller. At forward at 6'10" from Alabama, number 9, Derek McKee. At forward at 6'11" from Clemson, number 32, Dale Davis. And at center at 7'4" from Marist, number 45, Rick Smits. Head coach of the Pacers is Larry Brown.
for the 7th and final game. We have double coverage along the sidelines. Both Ahmad Rashad and Jim Gray joining us. Let's start with this report from Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Mark. I spent a lot of time with the Knicks in their locker room this morning, and they are, to a man, so tired of all the talk. What if and maybe if and all that kind of stuff. Charles Smith told me the only thing they can do now is go out and play, and that's what they're looking forward to. I saw Charles Oakley walk into the locker room with a beautiful black suit on him. I asked him about it. He said, you know, when you get ready to put somebody away, you always wear black.
The mentor Frank McGuire and said, guys, only think about winning. That's the only thought that should enter your mind. Mark?
And dramatic series, and we're set for game number 7. And the tip controlled by the Knicks. Hopper guarded by Jackson. Gets the pick from Ewing. Ewing going at Smits. Yes, the counts.
20 shots. It's not necessarily that. It's just getting his hands on the ball and make something happen.
Knicks have to take advantage on the transition. Indiana did not react, and Oakley has provided the Knicks with a 2-point lead. Miller on a quick release.
Get caught just watching the Rick Smith show.
Ewing with the drop step. Patrick Ewing looking very fluid here in this first quarter. Knicks lead by 2. Nice move off the spin. And Ewing, who has been acting
him on the move a little bit. Patrick Ewing had a fight over the screen, and they got caught off balance, which enabled Smith to go to the hole.
Hopper! Eric Hopper
of Smith being doubled, and the Pacers cashing in as he gets the ball out of the double team.
Ewing with the spin. And the same can be said of Rick Smits. If Ewing gets the step, he will not look to come over and defend. Does not want to pick up additional foul.
And Rick is not making the adjustment. He is getting too close to Ewing. Ewing right now with the good legs can go by him anytime he wants.
McKee, Eric McKee, who has been very quiet this series. In fact, he's fouled out of 2 games. He's had 5 on 2 occasions. Larry Brown looking for more offense from him. The pass stolen by Jackson. Miller with Oakley back. Miller on the pull-up. First quarter. Shot clock at 5. Ewing from deep. Dislocated the shoulder once again, but he's started out in this first quarter 6 points, 4 rebounds, and Indiana leads by 5. Just under 5 remaining. Beautiful pass from Oakley to set up Ewing. In fashion, continue this Knick team. A club that has had internal problems. They double up on Ewing. Shot clock at 5. It's down to 2. Hopper has the force. Rebound Oakley. Able to slap it over to Anthony, who fires it up for 3. That's the 4th block for Patrick Ewing, who comes back on the offensive end. Pacers 44. The Knicks 35-15 for Ewing.
But the Knicks are going to have to find another scoring source. Right now, it is all Patrick Ewing. John Starks or somebody is going to have to step up.
Here is Byron Scott. So they double up on Hopper. Starks for the drive. Pacers 49. The Knicks 39.
John Starks sensing that he has to make a contribution offensively, and the Knicks starting to put a little more pressure on the ball to hurt the execution of Indiana.
Oakley foul call. Steve Javy keeping the eye on Charles Oakley, was looking for a reaction, and
Oakley in and probably getting a piece of the wrist there. Charles doesn't agree with it, but goodness.
Miller off the dribble. Stolen by Starks. Starks finding Smith. Indiana by 7.
All set up by the aggressive defense of John Starks, and did a terrific job of eluding a foul or whatever to send Charles Smith in for an easy one.
Larry Brown calling for time.
Thought that Reggie Miller was going to look to get 20-plus shots today. Reggie kind of softened on that, saying not necessarily shots, but make things happen. He tried to make it happen there. Charles Smith knocked it loose to Starks,
and Starks repaid him with an easy one, and Patrick Ewing knows that the way that the Knicks can win this game and get back into it is with their aggressive defense.
And that's since Rick Smith sat down, picking up his second foul. The Knicks have outscored the Pacers 10-6. 4 minutes to go in the half. Indiana 50, New York 43. Seventh and final game. The winner advancing to the Eastern Conference Final to go up against Orlando. And the call against the Pacers. Offensive foul. Foul on Antonio Davis, his second. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, exclusive coverage of the NBA Draft Lottery right here on NBC. Top college stars such as Maryland's Joe Smith, North Carolina's dynamic duo Jerry Stackhouse and Rasheed Wallace available to the lottery winner. Bob Costas will be hosting on the Prudential Halftime Report. The NBA Draft Lottery at halftime. Ewing with the pick. Smith coming up short. Oakley, yes! And it counts. Charles Oakley with a terrific reaction. Now the put on three. Miller eluding Starks, going glass. Rebound Smith. Bad pass by Smith. Intercepted by Jackson. Jackson from Metro. And the foul is called.
That's far enough to take that charge. I thought he was too far underneath the basket.
Good look from Harper to find Ewing. So the Pacers now lead by 5. They've led by as many as 12 with just under 2 minutes to go in the half. Mitchell. Miller. Jackson. Shot clock at 5. Harper with the strip. Jackson for 3. 24-second violation. Indiana calling for a goaltend.
I don't know if it's a goaltend or Jess Kersey, who had a good look at this, as Larry Brown and the Pacer bench felt that that ball ticked the rim, so it shouldn't be a 24-second violation. We will get another look at it.
And apparently they're going to call it a jump ball, which does not satisfy Larry Brown.
And he is saying, and if you can read his lips, we had the ball. But again, with the whistle and the confusion, this is probably the fairest way to do it under these circumstances. But a terrific sequence defensively by the Knicks, just pressuring every pass. The Pacers doing a good job of continually moving the ball, but the New York Knicks defense has just been relentless.
Both clubs have shot extremely well at 55% apiece. Singleton. Pacers by 5 points. Minute 20 to go in this first half. Ewing. Last touch by Indiana. A new 24 for the Knicks.
Even though the Knicks did not get the offensive rebound, Oakley's effort
is a 56-50 lead. Under 1 minute left in the half. Harper guarded by Jackson. Oakley for Smith. Nicely done, beautifully timed. And it's Indiana by 4 with 35 seconds remaining first half. Antonio Davis for Byron Scott. And a travel.
because Rick Smith is having his problems defending Patrick Ewing. The one way to possibly negate that is go at Ewing at the other end.
Starks got the step. Dale Davis with a 12-point first half. And another turnover.
Oh, Charles Smith just out of control on that semi-break, and now Patrick Ewing barking at John Starks saying, hold it up, that was not a clean fast break opportunity. If we don't have it, let's make sure we set up and get a good shot. I think that's what he said.
I thought you captured it. And Ewing able to wrestle it through. New York ball down by 4. Minute 45 gone by in the third quarter. Starks behind the back for Oakley. Here's Here's Smith. And a jump ball is called. Ewing with the tie-up on Jackson.
Well, Charles Smith coming out trying to be as aggressive as possible every time he's gotten the ball, now trying to take the ball to the basket, and that's not such a bad idea. It makes the defense reactive, and then somebody else might get an opportunity, as Ewing almost had one there, getting tied up with Reggie Miller or Mark Jackson. I thought it was Miller in there, but they're putting Jackson in the jump.
And just Kersey looking to make certain no one steps in too quickly on this jump ball, with Oakley looking for position, Miller looking. And the Knicks control. Ewing over Smith. So the Knicks within 2 points. Ewing has 19. He's playing with 3 fouls. Smith's playing with 2. Charles Smith doing a good job fronting Rick Smits. Smith's able to get to the ball. Jackson. Rebound Ewing. Starks for Hopper. Smith. Well, the Knicks able to swing it. They had the open shot, but could not convert. Indiana with the ball, up by 2. McKee off the dribble. Again, it's Ewing defending against Smits. Shot clock at 5. Jackson gets inside. Oh, beautiful shot by Mark Jackson.
Terrific all-around play, and a smart one by Jackson initially, seeing that Ewing picked up Smith actually on a switch in a transition play, tried to go inside of the big guy to possibly get number 4 on Ewing.
Charles Smith, who has contributed offensively, he now has 12. Pacers lead 60-58. Mark Jackson, 8 points, handling against Derek Hopper. Charles Smith battling Rick Smits. And it will be Nick Ball.
And once again, another nice job by Charles Smith, who has some length to him, a long reach, and enough body just to bang and lean on Rick Smith to throw him off balance. You couldn't go a whole game with a Smith or a Mason or an Oakley on Smith, but when you have Patrick Ewing, you can mix it up and be effective.
Charles Smith goes 6'10", about 245 pounds. Hopper did not have the shot. Here comes Miller in the open floor. Miller slicing his way, and it's tipped home. Mark Jackson with the tip. And Mark Jackson has 10 points.
We saw Reggie Miller come out in Game 3 and be much more aggressive as far as taking the ball to the basket, not settling for jump shot. He looks like he has that mindset here in the third quarter.
And Derek Harper lost the dribble.
Well, Reggie forcing the action here on the break, a smart thing, and good hustle once again by Mark Jackson, not taking anything for granted, following up on the play, as the Knicks not doing a good enough job in transition defense.
Pacers lead 62-58. 7.5 to go in the third. Here's McKee. Indiana in the midst of a good run. They now lead by 6. 9 points for McKee. And the Knicks want to talk it over. Timeout called by Pat Riley. 6-point Indiana lead. Shot clock down to 6. And Derek McKee able to bail out the Pacers. So they have extended to a 66-58 advantage with 6:38 to go in this third quarter. 6-0 run by the Pacers. And a foul call. It's on Mark Jackson, his second.
Both teams have been very quiet from beyond the three-point arc. The Knicks just 2 for 6. Indiana 2 for 5. And Jim Gray telling us during that last time out, Larry Brown telling his team, I want you to drive the ball at every opportunity. Don't settle for jump shots.
Smith. Hopper and Starks at the guards. Oakley, Ewing, and now Mason up front. Ewing in a battle with Smits, who has forced Ewing out deep. Shot clock at 4. Hopper for 3. And a loose is back. And that number 3 on Smits. Mason. And the foul, Oakley.
ball on the floor and get pretty much wherever he wants to.
Miller backing up for the three. Reggie Miller hitting his second from downtown, and the Pacers have matched their biggest lead of the game. They are up by 12.
And the biggest factor right now is the Pacers have taken the crowd out of this game at this point.
Knicks working the ball around, but not able to find the shot. Starks. And rebounded by Antonio Davis. John Starks has not been able to hit from the outside. Reggie Miller has another three, and he has begun the stare with Spike Lee. A 14.
You could almost look at it as he passed to himself, but it was a legal play.
Harper for three. Yes. Consecutive shots from downtown for Derek Harper, who has been a big shot specialist. It brings the Knicks with a 9 with 3.5 left, third quarter. Shot clock at 6. Miller and a foul. Oakley stepping in the path, and he's called for the block.
The Knicks starting to force things here a little bit as Derek Harper threw that ball to John Starks in a lot of traffic. A good break for New York, and at the fumble, he was able to catch up to it as Derek Harper starting to give the Knicks some life and get the crowd back into it. But Reggie Miller at the other end right now, having made those 2 threes, is setting up the situation where his defender has to get up into his chest, and that enables him to drive and do this, something he does as well as maybe Mark Price, the 2 best free throw shooters in basketball.
Spike in disguise here. I think Reggie will fight him.
He knows where to look. He's looking over there now.
Indiana 76, New York 65. Nice move by Starks. Cleanly beat Jackson off the dribble.
And the big man of Indiana falling asleep that time as the Knicks were all raised up above the top of the key, and nobody came to help. Reggie Miller, the only man there, and he got out of the way.
9-point lead for the Pacers. Reggie Miller scored their last 8 points. Miller looking for the screen. Antonio Davis, down low to Dale Davis. Beautifully done. And Indiana now leads by 11.
I thought that pass was too high. It turned out to be right in the perfect spot for Dale Davis to catch and finish before he could get fouled. He is a poor free throw shooter.
Harper, half left. In the third, Ewing facing a double team, pops it out. Starks to 3. Yes. John Starks has been a notorious street shooter. They will be looking for him. The Indiana lead is 8. Here is Miller. Reggie Miller on fire. He's given the Pacers an 80-70 lead. Bad pass. Starks off the mark. Oakley diving for it. Steve Jones. Knicks trailing by 10 with just under 2 minutes left in the third. Harper. Yes. That's a 2-pointer. Foot was on the line. And Derek Harper, red hot. He has 15. For Indiana, Reggie Miller, 10 of 15, 28 points in all, 10 of his 28 here in the third. Miller, laid by Starks. Shot clock at 7. And a foul on Starks. That is only his first.
Well, what is setting up all these open shots recently for the New York Knicks is Patrick Ewing getting the ball inside and waiting for the double team. And that is getting people like John Starks and Derek Harper wide open looks.
Reggie Miller, during the regular season, just under 90% at the free throw line. He is 6 for 8 this afternoon.
And some of the reason why the guards for New York not getting those open shots early in the ballgame is that Ewing was having such an easy time of scoring against Smith and making his move before the double team could get there.
And a loose ball foul against the Pacers. It's on Antonio Davis. And it will be a shooting foul with Indiana over the limit.
Anthony Mason and Patrick Ewing with inside position and the long rebound. It looked like Patrick Ewing was just going to get control of it, but Antonio Davis a little too anxious, a little too over-aggressive, committing a poor foul.
Workman pops it back out. Here's McKee for three. Oakley rebounds. Fires down. Here's Starks. Yes, and it counts. Foul called on Workman.
Well, the crisp rebound.
And Pat Riley helping with the English on that toss. Not a good foul by Workman. In that situation, if you're going to foul the player, you do it hard enough. So he's not able to get the shot off. It was kind of a light push by Workman.
And the Indiana offense has really bogged down in terms of just give the ball to Reggie Miller and let him isolate it. You have everybody else standing around.
Pacers lead 81-76. Down to 10 seconds to go. Third quarter. Miller. Time running down. And Mason pops it. That'll do it for the third. So the Knicks turning it around, although Reggie Miller has been on fire. Shot. Ewing with the fake. Ewing on the follow. Indiana by 3. 81-78.
And we'll see if Patrick remembers that when he has the ball outside with Smith running at him, he can beat him off the dribble as he did there.
Ewing with 3 fouls. Smith with 4. And a foul is called. And that is number 4 on Patrick Ewing.
Patrick is so much more comfortable when he faces the basket and Smith standing straight up, all 7'4" of him. No way can he move to block the path of Ewing. And Patrick getting his first offensive rebound of the game there off his own miss. If you'll remember in Game 7, and I do, he had 11 offensive rebounds as he had 22 overall. A big factor is Pat Riley right now has to give him a breather.
Yes, Charles Smith coming on. Rick Smith's going right at him. Oakley able to save it. Patrick Ewing did not want to come out. You could see the Sheepers' response from Riley, who said, just a couple of minutes. We'll be back.
Well, there's 11 minutes to go, and Pat Riley knows he's going to need Patrick Ewing down the stretch.
Indiana by 3. Minute 20 gone by in the fourth quarter. Reggie Miller getting a rest right here. Eric McKee rebounded by Smith, and he is fouled. If it's Smith, it's number 5. And it is. Gilbert Davis, who just returned. Good box out by Antonio Davis, and he was fouled by Anthony Mason.
Well, Mason has had a lot of success the last couple of games in fourth quarters as far as getting to the offensive board, putting stickbacks, getting fouled. He took a chance there, but picked up the second team foul. Gilbert Davis is trying to be aggressive offensively. It looks to me like he's throwing darts out there. He's aiming the ball and not stroking it when he does when he normally shoots well.
Davis very effective in the earlier series against the Cavaliers. Aaron Scott off the mark. And a loose ball foul. Ewing. Yes. The Knicks offense now working in very deliberate fashion. And Ewing cuts it to a 1-point Indiana lead. 24 points for Patrick Ewing. Pacers have missed their last 7 shots. Antonio Davis. Workman for 3. Well, the Knicks do not mind seeing Hayward Workman taking those kind of shots. Indiana led by as many as 15. It's down to 1. Ewing. Way off. Got a piece of the backboard. Again, Workman open. This time with a drive. Indiana 83 and the Knicks 80.
A mistake that time by the Knicks defense. They would much rather see Workman take that shot. Instead, they rush at him and open up the driving lane.
7.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Charles Smith getting down low. Davis for three. Yes. The Knicks and the Pacers are tied at 83. That's the first field goal for Hubert Davis. 5 minutes in, fourth quarter. Antonio Davis. Ewing with the rebound. And a foul is called. Took a shot. And the Pacers are now over the foul limit. Sam Mitchell called for his third. This crowd is pumped, as are the Knicks, who have come back from a 15-point deficit.
Ewing challenging that poor shot by Rick Smith.
The Knicks with the ball, trailing by 2. Keith fronting Mason. Mason was trying to get position on the other side. Ewing does. Yes. And the game is tied at 86.
It's amazing when the Knicks start one side and then post Ewing on the weak side. He is so much more difficult to double team, and then the quick little runner to get by to Antonio Davis.
27 for Ewing, who has come up with another big ball game. Game tied at 86. Miller slicing his way through, finding Smits. Smits, Rickey 4, 87 lead. So Indiana able to respond very well to this Knick rally. Starks rejected by Smits. Mason kept it alive. Ewing, yes. Indiana 94, New York 89 with just under 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. 29 for Ewing. Smits to a hook shot. Ewing with the rebound. Critical possession here for the Knicks, trailing by 5 with 2:25 to go in the fourth. Ewing with a drop step, not able to get the roll. Mason on the rebound. Shot clock at 12. Smits rejected by Oakley. Whoa! Charles Oakley, not known for his shot blocking, able to slap that one of the crowd.
Only 3 in this series, and Charles looked like he was going for ball there. At first, I thought he may be just trying to hack Smits hard to make him earn it from the line, but he looked like he had a good eye on the ball.
8th block of the game out of the Knicks. Ewing with 4. Shot clock at 9 with 2:01 remaining in the fourth quarter.
And the Knicks defense on these situations has been very stingy. They make it a tough inbounds pass on underneath out of bounds play.
McKee having difficulty and has to use a timeout. He could not find anyone. The ball in. Rick Smits follows up on the possession with a jump shot, and it is now 94-90 Indiana. Coincidentally, Game 7 last year won by the Knicks by that very score, 94-90. Jackson gets it back to Smits, and he is fouled. Anthony Mason called for his 4th, and Rick Smits will go to the line for the first time.
Well, the Pacers had just 9 seconds left on the shot clock when the underneath out-of-bounds play started as Rick Smits.
Pacers in possession, up by 5. Indiana trying to become the first road team to win a Game 7 since May of '82. That is prior to yesterday. Houston was able to do it against Phoenix. Miller rebounded by Harper. Mason not able to hit. And let's see what the call is here. Last touch by the Pacers.
Well, Derek Harper gave that ball to Anthony Mason a hair too soon, a little bit too far. Not that Mason can't put the ball on the floor, but I think he felt he was going to get fouled here. He is effective with his right hand, but he just squeezed that one out.
Starks. Yes, that's a 3 for John Starks. It's down to a 2-point lead. 30 seconds remaining. Pacers 97. The Knicks 95. John Starks three-pointer. Down to 20 seconds. 7-second differential between the game clock and the 24. Shot clock is at 5. Mark Jackson for Rick Smits. Shot clock at 1. Jackson. And it's Nick Ball. They call for time with 5 seconds remaining.
John Starks running out to the top.
Starks cuts to the corner. The inbounds to Ewing. Down to 3. Down to 2. Ewing. Not over the head. And it's all over. The Indiana Pacers have defeated the New York Knicks 97-95 to take the series in 7. And they advance to the Eastern Conference Final to face the Orlando Magic. Patrick Ewing had the shot, but it went in and out. And now many questions concerning the New York Knicks. And this man, Pat Riley, in his 4th season as head coach, is this the end of the era? Certainly Pat Riley's future continues to be a question as the Knicks are beaten by the Pacers as we take another look at the inbounds pass.
Well, no problem getting the ball to Patrick Ewing, who just flashed it. He spins out of the double team. It looked like with a little extension here, he could have taken the thing right to the rim, but he just tried to avoid the defense and flip it up, and it falls out as the Knicks see their season go down the tubes, and Larry Brown running around looking for somebody to graduate. Went out, came out, grabbed the ball. He didn't know what he wanted to do with it. He just grabbed it, held it, threw it back to the security guard.
So Larry Brown and the Pacers head to the Eastern Conference.